back, guys. So I want to say hey to all my new subscribers. My name is Mercedes, and today we're going to be talking about how to get the perfect credit score in 2020. And really the year don't even matter. This is just how to get the perfect credit score, period. Your credit report is made up of your personal information, which consists of your name, your address, your date of birth, social security number. Also the types of credit that you have and how many. Things like your credit limit, your balances, your payment history, your length of credit history, hard inquiries, soft inquiries, bankruptcies, and collection accounts are all what's on your credit report. These are the things that make up the number that we are also obsessed with, which is our credit score. Some have more weight than others, but these are the components of your credit score. So I'm going to break down what all contributes to having the perfect credit score and how you can get that. So let's get started. Number one is having a mix of credit. A lot of people typically think that if they just have one credit card or two credit cards, that that will be enough to get a perfect credit score. But in actuality, you need to have a mix of credit, meaning credit cards, auto loans, and home loans. So this also helps lenders when they're determining what loans and the interest rates to give you based off the type of credit that you have on your credit report, okay? Next, if you don't have a credit card, I suggest you get one. If you have no credit, start off with a secured card and work your way up, build your way up. But just start small, get you a secured card and just build from there. Now, when it comes to having a credit card, the balances matter. Balances are going to fluctuate each month without a doubt, especially if you don't use a credit card for like certain expenses. So if I were you, I would, if I had like multiple credit cards, use one card like a card with a lower limit, like maybe a $200 limit for Netflix. If you have a monthly subscription, something, that's like $10 or less, use that. Netflix is just like the go-to. Use Netflix, $9.99, $5.99, however much it is, and let that be the only thing that hits that account. The key is not to overspend. Just because you have a $200 limit, a $1,000 limit, does not mean max out the card, okay? Keep the balances low. All right, credit utilization. It is recommended that you keep your credit utilization under 30%. Now, this is where people get confused. They feel like if the overall utilization is 30% or less, then that will have a great impact on your credit. You have to keep each individual credit card under 30%, and then the overall total has to be under 30% as well. The lower the better, all right? The lower the better. Credit history. This one plays a huge key factor in your overall credit score. And I want to point this out too as far as credit history. When you pay off an account, the account sometimes closes. Once it's paid off, you're done with. A lot of people think that just because an account is closed that they have to dispute it. Do not dispute a closed account. You're gonna lose so much credit age when you do that, and that's gonna greatly impact your credit score. The older the accounts, the better. Do not dispute closed accounts just because they're closed. Keep those accounts around for the credit history, for the credit age. You need that on your credit report, okay? Inquiries, OMG. Okay, this is where I feel like a lot of people mess up with inquiries. Okay, we know that there are hard inquiries, there are soft inquiries. Soft inquiries are nice promotional inquiries that show up on your credit reports. No one can see those but you. Hard inquiries are the ones you get when you get all these letters in the mail talking about you pre-approved for this and yada, yada, yada. Y'all, just be mindful when you are applying for credit cards or just any type of anything that's gonna pull at your credit. Make sure you really need it. Make sure you know that, like, if you're applying for a credit card, it's for I'm doing this to build my credit. Like, I know I'm about to take a hit, but in the long run, it's gonna pay off. Don't be applying for cards back to back to back to back like that. Don't do that. Don't do it. Look, okay, listen to me. Payment history. Okay. Let me just get close. Never miss a payment. All right. I know life happens, and I've been in situations where I've missed payments, maybe 1 or 2 or 3. This is before I knew the importance of credit, but the fact of the matter is payment history holds the most weight out of everything when it comes to your credit report. If you know for a fact that you're going to be late, if you're going to miss a payment, contact the company. Please make payment arrangements. Do whatever you need to do instead of allowing your account to report a missed payment, a late payment, a fee, or whatever. Do not miss a payment if you can help it. And I know times get to a point, I don't want nobody to say, I've tried that before, or what if you've worn it out, like they don't want to work with you. And that will happen. And in a case like that, I would send in a goodwill letter. Like if it's at a point where you got like 1 or 2 missed payments, you've never really been late before, but you know, things happen. Kind of like with this situation that's going on in the world right now, like things happen and nobody saw this coming. So in a situation like that, you know, I understand like you just kind of just have to just let things be, but send in a goodwill letter, you know, to see if they will work with you on removing those late payments. But try not to be late. Pay more than the minimum amount each month. Don't close the card just because like you've paid it off or you know, you're through or whatever, you're done with the card. Leave the card open. Leave the card open and active. That contributes to your payment history, that adds to your credit age, to depending on how old the account is. Don't remove the account. Cut up the card if that makes you feel better and delete it off Apple Pay, Apple Wallet, whatever it's called, get it off. Also, pay your credit card before your statement date. A lot of people are confused, like with the statement date, the due date. The thing is, you need to have that credit card paid down by your statement date. Most credit card issuers or whatever, they report your balance on or around the statement date to the credit bureaus. So if you have a $500 limit card and you spent $300 and something and you just saying, you know, and the statement date rolls around, then the $300 is gonna report to the credit bureaus. And that's gonna make you look bad. It's gonna make you look like you don't know how to spend. You have bad spending habits, you know, and that's gonna report, which is gonna affect your credit score. Now, if you have a $500 credit limit, you know you about to run that card up, pay that balance down as low as possible by the statement date. From now on, stop looking at the due date and focus on your statement date. If you don't know your statement date, call whoever your credit card issuer is and ask them when is your statement date. Also, if you have accounts that are closed already on your account, on your credit report, send in goodwill letters. Sometimes, just being real, because I've had this happen, some companies, especially like Credit One, they'll just throw the whole account away. If you send in a goodwill letter, like on a closed account, or maybe a closed charged off account, and you just, you know, send in a goodwill letter, kind of tell them whatever happened that caused you to be late, that caused the account to close, yada, 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 they will delete the account. If I have proof, I'll show you that I've gotten a Credit One account removed by sending in a goodwill letter. It's possible. Also, on your credit cards that you have, request credit limit increases, but do not increase your spending just because you have more available credit. And the last thing is knowing what the heck is on your credit report to begin with. You need to monitor your credit report. Identity theft is real. Family members opening up accounts in your name is real. Like, this is real life. Like, if you notice something on your account, why do I keep saying on your account? If you notice something on your credit report that is not yours, dispute it. If you know you didn't do it, file an FCC report. Having a perfect credit score, you know, it's a lot of other things that contribute. Not filing bankruptcy if you can help it. And I really mean that, like, if you got to file bankruptcy, like that's just the last resort, do a Chapter 7 and not a 13. Even if you have public records on your credit report, I know people who have public records on their credit report with like a 650, 700 credit score with a bankruptcy on their credit report. Stay on top of your credit. Pay your bills on time if you can help it. I know life happens. I'm not finna get on here and act like I don't know. I done been to the point where it was pay a bill, buy a meal. Like, I've been there before. I know how rough it can get. Your credit is already like kind of in shambles, but you want to have if you want to have better credit, Lord have mercy. If you want to have better credit, I will link every video that I have related to that to help you get those removed. I have dispute letters on my website that y'all can go to and use. If you have questions, join the Facebook group. I'll link everything below. But yeah, that's all I got. Peace out, y'all.